Hey everybody, we are back for another Great British Brush Off. This is Band of Badgers, and this is the most awesome, great. This is Taylor Holloway, everybody. This is the game designer for World of Reclamation. Designer, writer, does everything, including the cleaning, puts on this cup of tea, coffee, whatever you need to do, he does it all. Thank you for coming back. This is episode 3 of 3, the final showdown that we have here on the Brush Off, and we're going to be painting up some minis. We are joined, of course, by Steve. Say hello, Steve.
Hello, Steve.
There you go. Always on cue. Slight delay, but always on cue. And of course, we are sponsored by the amazing, the utter gentleman himself. It's Warrior Prince. We need a sound effect applause.
I thought you need a little
goes like that. So it's a bit sad, really. But,
that's the target for New Year's. Find a cheer sound effect.
Find a cheer. Yeah, we can do that. We'll put it out to some people.
Where's my pocket bard? 2 seconds.
We should get Pocket Bard in my interview list. So Pocket Bard, if you're watching this, or if someone gives you a nudge, let us know because we love to. I don't know why I'm doing this. Look! I've got black gloves. I'm all professional today. It's like I'm feeling really, really professional. Like I can paint even better because I have gloves on. I don't know
dead cow.
You did say that there were a couple of vans outside your house with flashing lights on, so I actually think you've just got back from a bank robbery.
It's like, am I a professional painter or am I a master assassin? I don't know.
Whenever I see anyone wearing them gloves, I always think of Payday.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like it's cool. But anyway, we're back painting up some minis. We're going to quickly go around the houses and see what everybody is painting. But before that, let's shove up some logos because this series, the Great British Brush Off, is sponsored by our friends over at the Army Painter. Makes wonderful paints. I'm using speed paints today on these minis. I'm going to be painting the second of my 2 minis. We are also sponsored by the lovely people at Dork, Greg and Meredith. Thank you very much for doing all that. And of course, I shouted him out already. It's Warrior Prince. There's some details for you. I still need the bigger image.
Yes, you took that off my bloody email.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. Taylor, how are you? How's your couple of weeks been since you were last here?
Snowy. We are very snowy. There's a lot of snow. Yeah. It's out of control. Yeah.
We got heavy rain here at the moment. We've got some blistery showers going on. We don't have rain. It's been quite warm today.
It's a bit of, it's one of those things we're trying to, someone's like Taylor was saying how much snow he's got, and we can just go, it's been a bit windy. And it's a bit drizzly.
The bins might go over. But
my empty bins just it's gone 4 feet down the road, but you're right.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, later I'll tell you guys a story about a bus that slid down a hill full of children. I think it was
a completely different story.
Yeah. No, I'll go on it while we're painting, but it was pretty funny. It was also pretty horrific, but yeah, there was we've had a fun couple weeks here since we've spoken last.
Cool. It's nice to know. We'll catch up. So we are, for those of you joining us live, thank you so much. If you have questions, go ahead, put them into chat. We will get to answering them. We'll just shove it up. If you have something to make us laugh, whatever, just do that. If you're painting while we're painting, let us know what you're painting. Let us know what paints you're using. Tips, tricks, anything like that, shove them into the chat, and we will put them up on screen for everyone to share and to see. Right, let's have a look. Taylor, what are you finishing up? You got Sweet Tooth there.
If you remember correctly, I was super overconfident that I could paint Sweet Tooth in one session, and I didn't even get close. So I'm finishing that up.
That looks cool. That does look pretty awesome. What are you hoping to achieve today, then? In terms of finishing, what do you need to do to finish it?
Oh, geez, I need his flesh tones done, his pants. His weapon isn't even touched, I don't think. All these bits on the back, his bone, this poor half gentleman that he's carrying. That's been bitten in half. I mean, I do the whole thing. So, but I'm confident I can finish today.
Good. That's what we like to hear. I am not going to finish today. I am starting my second mini. I will put this up on the big screen for you. But this is the so take. Actually, I'll ask Taylor. Taylor, who is this in terms of World of Reclamation?
That is a wasteland reaver. So they're tribes of cannibals and slavers and villains who dwell in the strange wastes and live off the land.
I mean, the detail in these minis are absolutely awesome. I mean, look, he's got battle scars. He's got spikes coming out of his flesh. He has this awesome metal hood with this kind of streak of hair. I'm gonna make his hair white because I always make characters' hair white. And look, he's got a baseball bat with some spikes on. He's got the massive club.
Yeah,
it is.
Oh, they're
awesome.
One of the more regular enemies in the World of Reclamation.
It's a fantastic mini. Tons and tons of detail. I love this. Right, Richard, how you doing?
I am aiming today to finish my massive sweet tooth.
Let's go for it.
I've got the little bits on the back to sort of get finished. I've started some of the skulls and given the first coat. I've dirtied his trousers and whatnot, and finishing the base.
That's nice. Cool. Good.
Yes, should be good fun.
And Steve,
I shall be continuing with the Wasteland Abomination.
Nice.
I'll turn the other camera on in a minute. You can see it. So I'm going to finish with that. And we are going from red back to purple because I do prefer that.
Okay. Fair enough. Right. So without further ado, on your marks, get set, paint, go. And that's it. For those of you watching us live, that's about it. I'll put some dulcet tunes on. I'll put some Tweety Birds for the Elven Glade. We're going to be painting this, but if you have questions, as I said, do put them out onto chat, and we will answer them as best we can. Now, the last two sessions, in terms of votes, in the last 10 minutes of this, we're going to be doing this for about 2 hours. In the last 10 minutes, we will be asking you to vote for your best painter. So those of you joining live, be aware of that. Also, Taylor, did you say there was a giveaway today?
That's true. I'm going to do a giveaway. If you stick around to the end, I will do a giveaway where everyone who, at the very, very end, I'm going to give a subject line for an email you can send me. And what I will do is I will give you an exclusive well, I guess it's not exclusive because you can get it on the site, but it is a Pymian the Last King. And I'm just going to grab the model for you so you can see just how big it is.
Yeah.
This is not a small model I'm giving away. This is Pymian for Pymian.
Okay.
So he is on his Edwardian Peregrinus. This one is missing his arm, unfortunately. It met with an accident. But yeah, so this model here is what I'm going to be giving away in STL format to all those who stick around and comment and send me an email after the show.
Cool. Fantastic. Right. I'm going to start cracking on because I've been planning what color scheme I'm going to use on this one for a while. So as I said, viewers, you get to vote on who you think is the best painter today. Richard is well away. I don't think I can catch up, but who knows? Maybe I can.
Taylor was well ahead of me.
Well, my models are a lot smaller too.
Taylor is
OSL in awesomeness won him somewhat of a cascade of votes.
So yeah, I was driving I take my daughter to school every morning. I drive her to school. And what I do is to get some exercise in the morning, I park at my mom's house, which is about a 10-minute walk away from the school. And my daughter and I make a walk of it.
Yep.
And I believe it was last Thursday. We had quite a snowfall the night before. And as I'm driving by, I see a bus, like a school bus full of kids. And it is hanging on the, it's gone through a stop sign and has hit the curb. And it seems to have stopped it. And I told Helix is my daughter. And I told her, I said, oh, I'm like, well, that bus is stuck. I hope none of your friends are on it. And we kept on driving. As I parked at my mom's and I and we watched the bus, and it wasn't moving, so it looked like everything was, it was just waiting for a tow truck or something, and left it at that. Got to school, dropped off the kid, walked back, and the bus had slid through the stop, like had slid further along, and had now was hanging on the edge of a huge hill that goes down, and was stuck on the curb, and the stuck on the curb and a rock wall to someone's property, and there were a few people out talking. So I thought I'd go over and see if I can lend a hand, because we, there's a bunch of people there. So I went over, started talking to them, see how things were going, what was going on. And anyway, it turns out the guy who was driving the bus had actually never seen snow before. So he was very scared. This was his first time driving in snow, and was a little upset from the experience. And then, as we're talking, the bus another person who's a more experienced bus driver starts backing it up a little bit, and the bus starts sliding slowly down the hill. Now remember, it's full of children who are screaming at this point. And then out of nowhere, this lady starts walking up the hill with her dog, and she's probably in her late 40s, early 50s. And I said, and she goes, "Hey guys." And I'm just like, "Lady, you got to move." I'm like, "This bus is sliding." I'm like, "This is a real problem. You need to get out of there." And she goes, "Are you stuck?" And I said, "Listen, if you don't want to become a fucking smear for Christmas, I suggest you get the fuck out of the way." And as I yelled this, she realized what was happening and ran, right? Like, she just ran. As I was happening, the bus slid down the hill, missed her by like maybe 2 meters, right? And goes all the way to the bottom of the hill and stops, right? When it hits flat ground, right? And the kids are screaming the whole way. And I'm not sure if you've ever heard a bus full of kids screaming as they're sliding down a hill, but once they're okay, it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny to reflect on. I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, so, said goodbye, talked to some people, whatever. Everything seemed fine. Then the bus decided to try to make it back up the hill, which was hilarious because that wasn't happening. But anyway, my kid gets home, and she goes, "You saw the bus slide down the hill?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I was there." And she goes, "I know, because my friend was on the bus, and he said you said some bad words to a lady." Yeah. So now I'm known at school. I do a lot of volunteer work at the school because I have a more free schedule sometimes. I have a more pliable schedule, let's say that. And they know me by a variety of names, but apparently I'm now known as the guy who yelled at that lady and said bad words while they were sliding down.
Worst things to be known for.
Well, it's better. I suppose it's better than what I was known for before, which was Daddy Short Legs, which came from a school trip where we were in the woods, and and my daughter found a Daddy Long Legs, and I was like, "Look, it's a Daddy Long Legs," and I said, "Yeah." I'm like, and I was explaining to them what they were, and then my daughter's friend Aurora, who's a very nice girl, said, "Does that make you a Daddy Short Legs?" Because remember, I'm only 5.5 feet tall. Yeah. And that was apparently my nickname for a while. It was Daddy Short Legs. So that is that.
When you say that the woman was running away from the bus, it just sounded like Charlize Theron running from the spaceship in Covenant.
Yeah. Pretty much. It was actually pretty cool.
Sideways.
Yeah. Zigzag.
Zigzag.
But she was pretty stunned. I was surprised that she it's a good thing she didn't get crushed. That would have been pretty terrible.
So that would have been less than pleasant.
Yeah. But yeah. Nothing gets people moving though when you start swearing at them. I've noticed. I wish I say this is an uncommon situation, but buses sliding day after a snowfall is not that uncommon up here. We're pretty used to it.
Don't know what's more terrifying.
What have you guys been up to for the past 2 weeks? Anything exciting?
We had Dragon Meet, which is a one-day convention over in London.
Oh, right.
So it was good to do. We did a Badgers meet and greet, so it's good to meet some people. We met some new artists and writers. We met Mammoth Factory that I messaged you about, Taylor.
Yes, Nadev, and
He's pretty
Nadev.
cool. I need to chase up on him, but he's pretty cool.
I like their stuff.
Is Nadev living in London?
Yeah, he's in. I'm sure he said he was in London, and one of the guys he's working with is in Wales or from Wales originally.
Oh, right on.
So yeah, it was nice guy, really good to talk to.
I have a friend in Wales named Callum, and I didn't realize that people in Wales they view themselves distinct from the British, from the UK.
Yeah,
they're pretty passionate about
people do.
They're pretty passionate about that. He was very emphatic. Yeah. It's a thing. They're characters. I didn't realize that they're I mean, I should know. My wife's mom was actually Welsh. My wife's grandma.
It would be the same reaction when people would say to you, "You're American."
Yeah, but the UK is the same. It's all one country, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They view it differently though.
Yeah, like, I mean, because for me, when I see it's all one country, I assume that you guys are all, refer to themselves. I guess. Yeah, I guess. I mean, is it a province? Is Wales its own province? Or I'm not sure if you guys have provinces. Do you guys have provinces?
Technically, it's its own country.
As I say, yeah.
They don't have border control, so to speak, but it is its own country. I mean, they have their own parliament and stuff.
Yeah, so it's like a province, like, because Canada we have like Ontario, Alberta, Quebec, et cetera, where it's all like, I mean, we're all distinct provinces, but we're all Canadian.
I think most people would determine it as a country over here.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. If somebody describes them, if you ask somebody what their nationality is, they will say Welsh.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Eh?
We would say English. It's only when you're abroad that people determine you as British rather than one of the 4 independent countries.
And which of the 4 independent countries?
So England, Scotland, Wales, and technically Northern Ireland, but
Northern Ireland,
as Irish.
Yeah, Scotland isn't its own country. I thought. Oh no, I guess it is part of the UK.
It's part of the UK, but yeah, it's its own country. Again, they have their own parliament.
Yeah, interesting. I bet you they don't like when you call them British either.
No.
That's interesting, though, that they're distinct, that they view themselves as distinct countries. I guess is the UK kind of like the EU then?
I don't really know how to describe what the United Kingdom is
anymore.
Yeah.
Other than a mess.
It was originally governed by the Parliament in London, but that's I guess that's the distinction now, is that they have their own general assemblies, or whatever the term is.
It's like the EU, like it's all separate countries, but they all fall under the EU banner, right?
Yeah, that was an economic union, and I'm not sure what economic aspects we offer anymore, because we don't have any manufacturing industry. So other than the financial market, I'm not sure what we would contribute.
Fair enough. Interesting.
Not my area of expertise.
I'm not. I'm not. It's strange. I don't actually know that much about the UK. It's surprising, given that Canada is we still put, we had the Queen on our money. Now we have the King on our money. So
yeah,
we are still a Commonwealth.
So
Yeah, they don't really teach us too much of the UK in school.
And I think everyone has a UK passport, so from that point of view, it's still the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you ask anyone Welsh or Scottish what their nationality is, and they will tell you that they're Welsh
They'll
or Scottish.
As I've learned emphatically. They will tell you emphatically. And then Northern Ireland is also part of the UK?
It was originally, yeah.
Yeah. And then Southern Ireland is its own country.
That was its own country, yeah. Yeah.
But they're both called Ireland.
Yeah, yeah, they're all part of the same. Yeah, and that's I guess that's a whole different kettle of fish, that one as well, isn't it? Because did Northern Ireland stay in the EU? I don't
Yes.
think they Brexited, did they?
No, the Southern. Maybe I don't know if Northern Ireland is part of the EU or not. They must be. They must be part of the EU.
Northern Ireland is part of the EU because I can no longer ship there.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so yeah, that's what I thought. So we're learning all sorts of stuff today.
Every day is a school day.
Buses slide in Canada.
We get a bit of wind.
We gotta win. Yep. And the Welsh don't like being called British. Do you have any comments in the chat?
No, they're
No?
politics free.
It's gone quiet.
Well, War Pagan said United, just Quebec, and the rest of Canada.
Sorry, what was that?
War Pagan says United, just Quebec, and the rest of Canada.
Ah, there we go. That's my friend Evan. He was here in February. There's a lot of stretching on this sweet tooth model, eh? Skin is just stretching. There's a lot of skin stretching on this model.
Oh yes,
This sweet tooth model. I didn't quite realize how much. It's been a while since I've painted one. This guy was the first month release, and I've painted two of them in quick succession, and then I haven't painted one since.
vowed never again.
Yeah. Well, I teach a painting class at my local game store, and when he first came out, he was the subject of one of our paint classes because it was around Halloween. So we did a. It wasn't around. No, it wasn't around Halloween. I don't know why we painted him, but we painted. We all painted a sweet tooth model. 4 hours.
I say it's a good one for practicing. You know, certain or all sorts of different bits and pieces.
Yeah. He's got lots of character to him as well, right? So
An awful lot. I've got to say, he's one of my favorite of the whole collection.
He's pretty cool. And he's the other because he's a butcher of rune, and we have our other butcher of rune that's produced in what's it called, resin, and I think this is a big improvement on it, to be honest. Like the other one's okay, but he's got really like these weird skinny legs. He's got a big belly and these tiny skinny legs. I mean, it's kind of cool, but it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird.
No, that's a bit too. That's too weird.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have chicken legs.
So you got a chance to look at the Creature Caster Compendium, Dave and Steve? Did you get a chance to do that yet?
No.
I haven't checked out the new version that you sent over. I have downloaded it, and it does work. Much better than the previous version.
Yeah. Thank you for letting me know, by the way.
That's right.
Nobody brought it up. I'm surprised nobody brought it up. But yeah, there was like 8 layers on that thing. It was brutal. So even though I compressed it, I guess it just compressed all the layers together because it was loading each one of the layers every time you turned a page.
So it was fine. It seemed to work fine on the laptop, but on the iPad, that's what I tend to read it from.
Yeah.
So I can just pick it up and put it down. It's just that wasn't having it at all. But yeah,
thank you
the
very
new
much.
version's much better.
Yeah, it's it looks. I think it looks all right. The bigger issue right now is I'm working on the campaign book, getting that finished up. But like I'm new to this, right? I'm not a professional paginator, and when I was laying it out, I instead of making it like breaking it up into more manageable chapters, for some reason I made the document 100 pages long. Like it's all one long chapter connected, right? Yeah. So if I made a change on page 7, the entire publication went whack, right? Because you take out a paragraph and suddenly everything's all over the place. And like I was like struggling with it, and then I had a breakthrough and I'm like, wow, this was a really dumb thing to do. And so I went back, and I'm currently right now just relaying it out. But I'm making improvements to it as I'm going, so which is good.
Cool. We got Rucrion says, I have a British friend who proudly says they are from Yorkshire. More so than British.
So Yorkshire is a county in England. So yeah, there are also very proud counties, Yorkshire being one of them.
They make good tea.
We got there's a question as well in chat. Let's just bring it up on the screen. Warpagan is asking, what is everyone's thoughts on Zenithal highlights or black versus white base? Taylor and Richard, what are your thoughts?
Well, Evan knows my thoughts because he comes to my painting classes and it's mandatory.
I'm gonna I don't know what I'm gonna say because I don't use it. I'm a complete beginner. I just use white. I sprayed it white.
I always use Zenithal highlight.
The main reason I think it's important, like especially if you're using speed paints as a base, is it gives you that extra contrast. And if you're thinning your paints enough, then it's going to make a big difference when you're putting paints onto your models. So Steve, because Steve, you did a Zenithal highlight, or you did a Zenithal highlight with the dry brushing. Are you finding it's making a big difference?
Yes, and I'll try to elucidate on the reason why it makes a big difference. It informs the non-artist, of which I am one, where the highlights would be if that light was shining on it. So it's like colouring in by numbers to a certain extent.
That's a good way of putting it.
You put the speed paints on, and you can see where the highlights are. And then when you're putting the highlights on, that's where you paint the highlights. It's as simple as that. So yes, it is very good.
Yeah, I don't think. Now, I mean, if you have an airbrush, obviously Zenithal priming is a lot easier, right? But as you can always do it with a dry brush as well, right? And the results are pretty good.
Yeah.
Like are just as good.
I've also found it a very nice way to photograph models.
Yes,
especially right. with 3D prints, because when you take a picture of just a print, you don't always get all the great detail and the the variance in the actual model itself. Whereas a nice, decent zenithal on it, you can see it, and then you get a much better feel for the model.
Yeah, I agree as well. But yeah, if you're thinning your paints enough, it usually makes a big difference.
And you should always be thinning your paints.
Yeah. Definitely should be.
That's the biggest thing to overcome as a beginner.
Yeah. It's like the first thing you kind of overcome is thinning your paints. Which is funny because you'd think most paints would come pre-thinned.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have our Cuttlefish color line of paints, and they come they're all glazing paints, so they're all semi-transparent.
Yeah.
So they come good out of the bottle. Now I even still thin those down, whether it's necessary or out of habit. I'm not entirely sure.
Are they available in the UK?
You can order them from our US site, so they're quote unquote available. But it is expensive to ship them over because they are heavy and they are paints. So, but they are, they're designed by it's called Cephalopod Studios. It's a company that produces them. But he makes them in his own. He has a warehouse and he makes them by hand. Cool. So he orders the pigments from all over the world and picks the pigments he likes for the different colors, and yeah. And I like his range because they're all community. All his paints are named by members of his community, so he's very community minded.
It's a nice idea.
Yeah, but they might, as the paint line grows, they might be more available in the UK in the future. But it's hard, right? Because even retailers, it's hard finding a retailer that wants to sell yet another paint line, right?
Yeah,
it's pretty expensive to get into the paint line game. But one of these days, maybe we'll have a UK. So if there's any UK retailers that are watching this and they want to bring in a paint that's different from what everyone else has, might be not a bad idea. I'm also
that's the route. I think that's the route that Turbo Dork did. Yeah. They found a retailer who was willing to stock their stuff, and it's done really, really well for them. As a sole UK supplier of their paint. They're not exclusive, I don't think. It's just that in the UK, if you're looking for Turbo Dork paints, there is a UK stockist, but you can't get it in any regular gaming store. Not that we have many gaming stores anyway.
Oh no!
No,
really.
It's the same as like comic shops and stuff like that. They are very rare. Yeah.
Really, I'm kind of surprised about that.
Yeah.
Our high street is dying anyway.
Yeah. Really? So is it mainly going online? Like, how are people getting together and playing games?
It's just doing it in their own houses.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah. We're lucky as in terms of Band of Badgers. We have when I first started it, we had access to a mansion house, so we were playing there. But now we have a new venue, and we're back to doing our big groups, multiple tables, private rooms, and that's great. That's a lot of fun.
So what's a mansion house?
Like Downton Abbey.
Okay.
You have to kind of see Downton Abbey to kind of think about it. A mansion house is a big house.
Okay.
And it's something that's been around for a long time as well. So we used to play in a mansion house, sweeping staircase, entrance hall. You had like the kitchen where we'd have pizza and cups of tea and stuff like that for breaks. And it was great. And we played D&D all day. I mean, like 12 to 14 hours.
Mhm.
And we do it once a month. And people loved it.
And you
And then we
rent
had-
like it's a rented space?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
gotcha. Okay.
And then COVID, so we lost it.
Yeah.
And we was all playing our own games anyway at this point. But it was only till earlier this year that I was like, well, is there any interest in getting the Band of Badgers social back together? And people were like, yeah, we want to do it. So now we have a new venue. And it's awesome. But you get loads of people together, all getting to know each other and socialize in that way as well. And they could go off and meet other, you can meet up people and go off and have your own home games or whatever. But they keep coming back for what we call the D&D Haven. That's a lot of fun.
So when people are playing like Warhammer and they're like different tabletop games like Infinity and that sort of thing, that's all done.
At the moment, it's all D&D. So we have D&D and Pathfinder at the moment.
Yeah.
Now, if people want to play a tabletop game like Warhammer, they're more than welcome to, but they also have to bring all their own stuff to share with other people. They have to keep it open-minded for newbies who might want to play and learn. If you want your own private game, that's fine. Go and set up your own private game. This is about a social, very much open social public environment.
I just mean in general. If you guys are,
they'll go to Games Workshop, or there are like sort of gaming cafes.
Okay.
Around.
Okay, so there's like gaming cafes for tabletop games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's
But
interesting.
again,
So
very few and far between.
Oh, really? So it's not a common thing. Like,
nope.
Depends where you are. We've now got 2 in town.
That's true.
Or at least, where I am.
It all depends. Someone has to come along and go, you know what, I'm going to set up my own small business.
Yeah.
We have Geek Retreats as well, they're called, which is a franchise sort of cafe place. But some of them are a bit hit and miss.
Geek and Treat?
Yeah, they're called Geek Retreat.
Oh, Geek Retreat. Interesting. Because like here in Canada, like, I mean, almost every like city, I would say, has its own comic store, game store, like sort of thing.
Yep. We used to.
Yeah, I just think because I mean, like, because the UK I think of as like a hub of
we
like
have we have in central London there's quite a few comic shops, and some of them have been around for a long time. And in fact, there's one that I know called Mega City Comics, and it's been around for like 40 years.
I think I've heard of those guys.
The owner can't find anyone to take the business over.
Really?
So after 40 years, it's going to close unless they can find someone to take it on. The comics as a business, as an industry, has really fallen flat.
Oh yeah, I believe that. Like, I mean, my local game store doesn't even sell comics. They do. I think the majority of their business is card games.
Yeah,
I say Magic the Gathering and Pokemon cards is usually the.
Yu-Gi-Oh is really big here too. So
Yu-Gi-Oh has had a bit of a surge in recent years.
I'm definitely not a card game guy, so it's all lost on me. I think the last time I played Magic the Gathering, I was 14.
I used to collect Pokemon cards, and that was about it.
My daughter's into Pokemon cards, or was. I'm not sure if she still is, to be honest. She was for a little while. I'm sure it'll come and go as she gets older.
My boys
when
were
them-
for a little while.
What was that? Sorry.
My boys were for a little while. They tend to sort of swing in and out of it.
Yeah. Well, my daughter's only 6, so she's still a little young, I think, to get into the actual gaming part of it. And she's very much not competitive, so. Which was really funny when she joined soccer.
Hagley's in chat. Hagley says hello. Hello, Hagley.
Hey.
How you doing, Craig? Craig, what are you painting? Are you painting with us or are you just tuning in? Let us know.
I just realized I'm not on camera. I've been painting off camera. I think we're all pretty intent on getting our models done today.
There's a lot more focus.
Yeah.
My Goblin Berserker is actually finished.
Oh yeah.
And it looks, for those of you who don't know, if you check out Band of Badgers on Instagram, you'll be able to see some of the photos there. The various work in progress at the time and the finished piece. I'll be doing some more as well over the coming weeks. I've got some more stuff to show off, so I'll be using those photos to show off some other little bits. As over Christmas holidays, I get a little bit more time to do things.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I'm taking a well-deserved 2 weeks off.
Yeah, I'm certainly trying to.
Yep.
I don't think I've taken any time off really in the past 3 years, so I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, I bet.
When you work in the gaming industry, it's it's hard to take time off, right? Especially when you're a small team, because you're deadline driven, things you got to get done. It's just and you don't really think about it as the same way you do. Like I remember when I used to work for the magazine. Like I had 6 weeks off, and I would take my holidays. But usually I take my holidays to go do gaming stuff. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife doesn't believe that I'd be taking 2 weeks off. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, I always mean to. I'm not someone who generally rests that well. Yeah. And I always mean to do something, and then I go, oh, what if I do this, or what if I do a new show and we focus on this, or just by chance there'll be like Dragon Meat. Oh yeah, we could feature that on one of our live streams or whatever. We turn it into a TV series, and
that backfires though.
It does, because it's a lot of time, a lot of effort. And then the hardest problem is the timing. Trying to work out what the timings might be, and is a right pain.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably try to take that in my 2 weeks off. I'm going to try to paint my entire Chaos army for Warhammer Old. Mind you, I said the same thing last year. Everyone laughed. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. That's looking pretty good. I think the skin is pretty done.
Hagley says, just sat down from work. So working The Walking Dead Daryl Orc. I don't know what that is.
Oh, he is the last picture I saw. He's looking good.
A Walking Dead Daryl Orc.
Yeah, so Modular Orc does themed orcs.
Ah.
So,
that makes a little more sense now.
Just a little bit. I'm gonna do something I've never done before. Let's give this a try. Where are we? See, we've just passed the 45-minute mark. Still plenty to go. Again, for those of you joining us live, thank you so much. If you have questions for Taylor, for Richard, even for me and Steve, shout out. Hagley says the Hellboy Orc is amazing.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
What I'm gonna do? What am I going to do? I'm going to do this. I didn't think I was going to get this far, but I want to. Give this a go. What I like about this as well is I don't know if it's a printing effect or if it's part of the mini, but especially this he's got this kind of cloth back that he's got. It looks like there's a texture on it.
Yeah, there is a texture on it. I do know for a fact that they were experimenting when we first started this. They started experimenting with different texture files. They were.
It's incredible. It is really, really cool.
Yeah, it's a neat effect. A lot of people don't do it with cloth, but we do a lot of it. So a lot of our cloth has different cloth texture effects on it.
Yeah. I mean, especially with I'm using speed paints. It's really picking up the detail.
Yeah, you can dry brush over it too as well.
It's incredible.
It's really neat what they have nowadays for sculptors.
Yeah.
I mean, the video game industry has done a lot for it, right? So.
Yeah.
Because you need a pattern for your, you need a pattern for, cloth. They have cloth patterns. They have all sorts of neat patterns out there, bone patterns. It's pretty cool stuff. I don't know anything about sculpting. I tried to briefly look into ZBrush because I wanted to open up a ZBrush file, and I'll tell you that is complicated as all hell. It's not for me.
Yeah, that's not a fun one. That one.
Yeah. Here I was thinking Adobe Photoshop was complicated. So do you have any? So what's on the roster for 2025 for Band of Batters?
Oh, you're gonna have to come back next Friday.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to make our announcements during our live Christmas party next Friday.
Oh, gotcha. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So we've got some new partnerships. We've got some giveaways. We've got some announcements and special guests from all over the world, which are people that we work with, that we've met this year, just coming back and hang out and tell us what they're up to for the new year. So that's again, Taylor, that's, you're more than welcome to come back once again.
I will absolutely be there, and that's 4:00 my time.
Yep,
I will be there for sure.
You can jump in and promote yourself. If you want to do a giveaway, do a giveaway. But we'll have various guests from all over.
Yeah, we can do that. I think that's a good idea.
Something we've done every year since we started. It is silly. We will be drinking. There will be all kinds of chit chat going on. But that's what it is. And any guests who come on, you're welcome to ask some questions. You're welcome to inquire, network.
There's no form to it. It's just chaos.
Yeah, it's just come on and chat. Tell us some stories, all that kind of stuff. And we'll be doing that for a few hours. Maybe we'll run till midnight. I'm not sure.
Well, I will be there for 2 hours. I can't commit to longer than that. But I do have.
People are welcome to come and go as they please.
That's awesome.
What you do have to do, though, it is Christmas jumpers or Santa hat or something like that. Something Christmassy. If you've got a Christmas mini you want to paint, we have people who they'll make music. We have people who will do cartoon drawing while on air. So if you want to see free badges in a trench coat or a Santa suit, we can do that for you live. So yeah.
There's a piece of art I came across, and it's that old painting. I don't know who does it of the Titan eating his sons.
Oh yeah,
he's ripping it. There's one of Santa, and he's tearing apart a Christmas elf in the same way, like Elf on the Shelf. And I asked my wife if I could get that made into a Christmas sweater, and I gotta look. So I think that's a hard no. I showed my daughter. I was like, would you like this as a Christmas sweater? And she was like, what is wrong with you? Which is not uncommon for her to say, but which is better than what she used to say, which is why you like this. So,
yeah.
Which she got from her mother.
As they do.
As they do.
Alan Scott. Hello, Alan.
Yeah.
I've learned from Taylor that black primer, brush white for the highlights, and bam, makes all the cool textures work and pop. Yes. In fact, last time Taylor was here, he said the very same thing to me, but I'd already primed my minis in white. So I couldn't be asked to do them again.
But Steve did it.
Steve did it.
Yep.
Yes, I did.
Actually, Don Certos, he's a painter out of the Philippines.
Yeah, he's been on. He's been on here.
Oh, has he? Oh, cool. Don's a good guy. He's a buddy of mine. But
yeah, Don came on here a couple of years ago, and we were doing stuff. But it was like 3 a.m. for him when he came on. And as we were wrapping up, he lives next door to like a cockerel farm. So all the cockerels, and it was literally dawn. The sun came up while he was on the show with us. Don was lovely.
Yeah,
and he is absolutely superb.
He actually he kept on talking about how nice I am to him all the time. Like I'm so nice. I don't sass him or anything like that. So I made a video. He challenged me to a painting contest, and I made a video, and I just ripped him apart the whole 2 minutes of the video. And he was so stunned. He didn't know what to do. He was. But anyway, what he's been doing is he's been doing double zenithal. So he does zenithal, and then he applies the speed paint, and then he dry brushes white over top of it, and then he does it again to get even more contrast to his. And it looks pretty good. He's doing something right. He's an
awesome artist in his own right as well.
Yeah, he is. He's really good. He was talking to me about doing a creature caster book where he just paints creature caster models.
Cool.
So he's looking.
You should definitely do that.
Yeah. But he. Where was I going? But yeah, there was a dwarf bust that we produced, and he recently did it. Did a video on it, and it got I think it was 1 million views or 1 million plays or something.
Oh, so, cool.
Yeah, he's doing something right.
I would love to say you'll get that many with us, but you won't. And that's normally because I blame Steve, but
it's all my fault that we don't get 1 million views.
Yeah, Steve, you can't find Steve on social, so he doesn't share anything.
You know, I'm not very active on social media. Like Creature Caster is, but I don't personally. I don't post anything on social media ever.
No, I only do it for badges. I don't do it for me or as me. It's always badges stuff.
Well, I think part of it was when Facebook came out, I was in the business world, and I saw way too many of my colleagues post stuff that was not well received on social media.
Yeah.
In the early days of social media, when they didn't really understand the different, they didn't seem to really understand that everybody was your clients could see this, right? And it may, believe it or not, impact their decision to spend money with you.
Oh yes, people forget.
Yeah. They seems to be a thing where they forget that people do make personal decisions with their money, and if they see you acting like an ass on social media, they may not. It may give some insight into your life, and you may not want them to have that insight. So. But yeah, I saw way too many people when I was in business, when social media first started becoming popular, about 2007, 2008, and they were posting stuff that you definitely don't want to share with the people who are giving you, $50,000 for advertising. Not
not a lot of clever choices going around.
Yeah, that's basically it. I'm sure we've all seen horror stories.
Rucrion says texture. It adds more grooves for the paint. It does. As I find out, I will do we're nearly up to the top of the first hour. Let's go around the houses and see people's progress so far. Taylor, let's start with you because you looked up first. Go. Where are we?
Here is Sweet Tooth. Oh. And I'm working on his skin and his bone.
Yep.
Highlights there. And I'm going to pull them together with a glaze before I'm done.
That is awesome.
It's a lot. That's a really bright light too. Jeez, let me turn that light down. No, it's way too.
I'll show you. This is still work in progress, but let's try and grab this full screen. There we go. So I'm over painting to try to get the bigger details, so I can go in, and I'm adding in some battle scars to the flesh. So I'm filling the scars up with blood as well, as best I can. Got the skulls going. I've got this red, and you can see some of the texture. Can you see the texture? Is that coming through? It's the shadow is in the wrong place. There's a little bit stuff coming through, but yeah, that's that's where I am at the moment.
Nice.
I was just trying to do the top half, but I love the color of this red. This is gorgeous color. I love this red. This is Slaughter Red from Army Painter.
Slaughter Red's good.
It's a lovely shade. I mean, it's a proper one. And plus, once I put like a dark wash on that, that might look really, really dirty. I think it's going to be the key one there. Richard, how are you going so far? We're going to zoom in.
So, all right. I've got a lot of the details done around the belt, around the back. Started a bit of the rust on the back cleaver, mainly to hide the print error that I did on that one. And yeah, hopefully going to be finished then.
I love the fact you got the heads on his belt are actually rotting away. You got like different color skin tones on those severed heads.
Yeah, got some nice bone effects, and the ones that are rotting are all in different stages.
Cool. And Steve, how's the Minotaur coming along?
Right.
Oh, look at that!
Right.
Wow.
Right, let me focus it. There you go. So I am putting the purple back on and picking out highlights through wet blending. So I've done the
You can really see the like skin texture and the detail. It is horrific.
It is horrific, yeah. So I will go back because as I'm doing this, you pick out all of the veins and stuff like that. I'll be painting them in red. That
chain that's hanging down from his neck, is that also pierced through his tongue?
No. That's his tongue, and where I did the dry brushing for highlight.
Oh, you've just got the tip of it, right?
Tongue, okay. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought, wow, that's gonna be harsh if he's got like pierced through the bottom of his jaw.
Through the bottom of his jaw, yeah. That would be cool.
Wrapped around his own body. Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's
all looking good. Right. So we have basically just under 15 minutes to finish up, do as best we can, and then we will start doing the voting. Now, remember, this is the Great British Brush Off. This is the third and final episode of Creature Caster World of Reclamation. We might be back in the new year. We're going to see if we can put the word out, get some more pro artists, pro painters to join us. If they're going to paint up some minis as well. But we get to see who you think has done the best so far. Who does your vote go to? Well, I want to crack on and see if I can do something with this mask, because I really want to get the mask done, and then the hair.
Running out of places to hold the model now.
To those of you watching live, thanks very much for joining us. Let us know what you're painting. If you have any questions, shout them out. Also in the new year, we can mention it on this bit, but we have our Christmas party next week. We do loads of announcements. But what we can say is that although we are painting minis, I'll show you the goblin. Well, that is finished.
Right on.
Although we are painting the some of the minis from World of Reclamation, we are going to be playing the game in the new year. So if you want to find out more about the game, tune in there as well.
Have we found people to play? Who's playing?
You're going to have to wait until next week so I can announce it.
Oh, right. Okay. All right. Sounds good. I have so many questions.
I know. You have to tune in. You have to wait. Alan Scott says, "Loving the purple Minotaur. Great idea."
Thank you very much.
Believe it or not, Al is actually playing in a World of Reclamation campaign right now. Al and Lucrucian. That's right.
Yeah. Crucian says, yeah, enjoy it. It was interesting. Ooh.
And Evan as well. War Pagan.
Yep. Cool. So yeah, we're looking forward to that. We're going to put a bunch of players through it. So tune in for those. Remember, go to YouTube, like and subscribe. Please do. We need the numbers. Always helpful.
I shared the YouTube link this time instead of the Twitch link.
Cool.
So I'll be honest with you, I don't know how Twitch works.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
But youtube.com/bounderbadgers. Every like and subscribe is always helpful.
That is what they say. It's always what point do you stick him onto the base?
So do you guys watch a lot of people who paint on Twitch?
Not on Twitch. I catch up on YouTube.
On YouTube, eh? That's
Yeah. I found so the pro artists, so basically the guests and pro artists that we've had on, or we hang out with, or paint, or whatever. I've mostly found through Instagram, and it's just by finding someone and go, wow, that looks amazing. Would you like to come and paint with us? And majority of people are quite happy to come on.
Yeah, no,
sort of do something. Even if they don't do Twitch, it doesn't matter. If you've got a camera and you're happy to come on, it's always nice to meet new people and find out what they do.
Yeah, I never really I missed the whole Twitch thing. I think it was just I remember when it first came out, and I remember it was for video games, and then people started doing painting on it, and people were like, "Oh, you should do a Twitch stream," and I'm like, nah.
Twitch is literally just the way that we use it is just live, so we can can broadcast live on YouTube, but Twitch was just easier when we started doing it.
Well, live on YouTube was also that's a relatively recent, isn't it?
Yeah. And then now you can dual broadcast and things like that, so it's all part of the fun.
Yeah, I want to say it was just before the pandemic when I found out people were doing painting on Twitch, just painting models and having people. And I'm always like, I'm like, people just watch them paint models, and apparently it's a thing.
Literally watching paint dry. I mean, it's the same as like I don't understand people who watch other people play computer games.
Yeah,
that is my biggest pet peeve actually, because my son does that.
Yeah, it's like we're just.
Oh, yeah.
How can you watch people play? You want to play yourself.
Yep.
Play yourself. And so I never really understood that, but
well, I mean, but I didn't. I felt the same way until a younger person said, "Well, yeah, but people watch sports on TV," and I'm like, "Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
It's the same sort of thing, right?"
By comparison, yeah.
Never really thought of it. Yeah.
So it's definitely, and again, there's a community aspect. You can sit here on your own. You just turn the camera on, and you never know who you might stumble across.
That's true.
But if you have a camera and are willing to do it, then you open it up.
Well, I do believe painting on camera is a talent because I sure can't do it.
I have only ever painted on camera.
Oh, really? Eh?
Yeah. I very, very. I mean, I've done it a couple of times. If it's the summertime, I might sit in the garden with my little boy, and we'll try and paint something. But all my painting has been done live to an audience.
Huh.
Big Daddy. Oh, sorry, Big Baddie 72 says, "Hello, gentlemen."
Keith.
Yeah.
Hey,
And
Keith.
Taylor.
If it makes you feel better, I always see it as Big Daddy. So.
Yep.
Oh,
You've got
and look,
Ambrose. Ambrose Poddington.
here. Did you know that Ambrose is one of the original writers of Mouth?
No.
Yeah, he is.
Cool. Ambrose, one of the things we do is also Q&A interviews. So if you ever want to come on and talk about stuff that you do,
well, he works for Disney now. I'm not sure if he's legally allowed to talk about it.
He's been Fight Club, isn't he?
Yeah. But Ambrose is also a great painter. He takes part in our Resin Beast competition, which happens at Adepticon every year. And he teaches
is he
painting.
good enough for the Great British Brush Off? That's what we need to know.
I don't know, Ambrose. What do you think?
Challenge.
You want to come on here with me and paint some models?
Yeah, do it. Do it.
Be fair, Ambrose does work some pretty wild hours because he works nights at Disney. I think he works on rides or displays or something. I don't know what he does.
He says, I work for the rat.
He does something there.
Oh, look, he says he would love to.
There we go.
We got one. Reel him in. More than welcome to. Oh, cool. There you go. Look, I work on rides, quality control, and non-destructive testing.
There we go.
Cool.
There we go.
So is that radiography?
You got to wait 10 seconds.
I know.
You got to wait. Quick question, and then you got to wait. I'm using a...
Oh, magnetic particle dye pen. Yeah, okay, yeah. Thank you.
I'm using a very... What am I using? I'm using gunmetal, which is a very dark grey metallic. And I'm using it with a dark wood background for this spiked bat that he's got. I'll try and pick up. Makes it a bit shiny. That's cool. I need to get some of your RoboCop classes, Steve.
Highly recommend.
Things are really picking up for our Resin Beast competition as well in Adepticon. We're at Adepticon. We've got sponsors coming up to Wazoo. This year we have Army Painter has sponsored us.
Well, that's cool.
We have Loot Studios. We have
started test printing some of their new Dragon bits and pieces to determine what size I go for.
There you go. Yeah, they're a great bunch of guys. Loot guys. We got Dragon Trappers Lodge. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar. Yeah, we have Bestiarium. My buddy
Another great bunch of guys.
Yeah. Yeah, and what's the sponsor? I'm get myself in trouble. I don't have this stuff in front of me. Eldritch Foundry. I'm not sure. Are you guys familiar with Eldritch Foundry?
Yep.
Yeah, we use they are one of our supporters as well. We use their tokens and their custom minis.
Nice. Yeah. No, Matan.
I mentioned you to Adam at Army Painter, and he says he knew you.
Yeah, he's a really good guy. He's, I just met Adam. Well, that's not true. I met Adam last year at Adepticon, but we didn't really start talking until recently. But yeah, no, he's a great guy. He's a huge fan of Resin Beast, and we also have Game Envy. So Kit from Game Envy is the sponsor. We have Chronicle Cards, which is out of Australia, and he's actually moving to the States, but great guy. His name's Will, and he is sponsoring the event. We have Iwata sponsoring it.
Beautiful airbrushes.
Yeah, they have airbrushes, but also that reminds me, I forgot to email Chris back. But they have their own line of paints called New Worlds. Let's see, New World, and it's pretty interesting. It works really well through the airbrush. But the most interesting aspect of it is all of the paints are also primers. So it has, I think there's 36 colors in the range. I could be wrong. I could be wrong with how many paints are in the range.
So when you say they're primers as well, do you just paint it from scratch? You don't have to pre-prime. You just
right on.
Oh.
Yeah. And I will say it's a fantastic primer. I've been using it. He sent me a bunch of paints to try out, and I will say they are fantastic.
Cool.
So yeah, they're a buddy of mine, Joe Arthober. He's a Resin Beast winner. He uses their paints almost exclusively. And, they're really nice paints. Really cool that they're all primers. Like, I mean, especially after trying to find a primer that goes well through an airbrush, which I'm sure you're familiar with, Richard. It's not the easiest thing.
No, to a point of AK has been my worst experience so far with going through the airbrush.
That's because it's not an airbrush primer.
No. As in, it was because I loved their primer, and I was like, right, okay, how can we thin this down and work it out so we can get it?
Yeah, no.
But,
no.
Vallejo has been the best I've found so far.
Yeah, their employees are on strike right now, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just found that.
Yeah, I just found that out from Spiky Bits. I was surprised to see it, but I mean, I guess I guess the work conditions are pretty dangerous. I mean, I never thought about working in a paint factory as being dangerous, but I guess there are quite a few dangers to working in a paint factory.
I mean, I suppose, especially on the scale that they do.
That's a big one. We they do blasting at around 5 o'clock every night from the mines that are around here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm sure if there's anyone still from Sudbury in the chat, they felt it too.
What mines have you got?
We have actually one of the deepest mines in the world. We have Vale is. We used to have our own mining company called Inco back in the day, and then they sold to a Brazilian company called Vale, and Vale is now I think it's actually the biggest mining company in the world. But the mine that we have here is so deep, in fact, that we have the Snow Lab here, which is a dark matter lab. With its own, I believe they have their own Hadron Collider down there. And they are conducting dark matter experiments.
Cool.
And if you get to go down to those places, it is wild. Because it's like, I want to say, how deep is the mine? And I'm going off memory here. I want to say it's like 3 kilometers deep, I think, underground. And then you have to go through a special heavy water shower before you can even go into the place, so you don't contaminate it. And then you have to go in a special suit, and then you can see what they're doing down there. And then you do the then you can leave. But I think you have to shower when you leave too, if I remember correctly. It's pretty wild stuff.
So when you said that was a big one, do you hear it? Is it like thunder, or is it?
Oh, yeah,
like
like an
you feel
earthquake
it through the ground, or
like
earthquakes?
Yeah,
Wow.
the ground shakes. Yeah, it's and these are like, you have to remember, this is blasting that's going off, like, again, 3 kilometers underground, right? So
yeah.
But it'll shake the ground. It actually causes some problems, like there's cracked roads from it.
Oof.
If you live close enough, you can have cracked foundations in your house and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, our city was it still is a mining town, but it originally was the mining city in Canada to go to. And then things have changed. We've diversified and done some other stuff.
You got Rucrion, and Rucrion says it's just your daily shake. One of the reasons we can't build giant buildings in the area. Wow.
Yep, that's true. Yeah,
we just cave in.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of tall buildings here for that reason.
Alan Scott says, I've worked at Creighton where the Snow Lab is.
There we go.
6,800 feet below.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's it's really far down, man.
That's incredible.
Yeah. There's a town north of here called Timmins, and they're big, like it's a big gold city. Lots of gold. And this happened, I want to say about 15 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, but it's probably 15. And they found gold in the center of their town, and wow. They basically ripped up the entire center of their town and turned it to an open pit gold mine. There was Shania Twain Center there, and they ripped up the Shania Twain Center. Those greedy bastards, eh? I will tell you the highlight of, and I think I'm safe to say this because I don't think anyone is in the chat, but one of the highlights of working at Creature Caster is I never have to go to Timmins again. It's roughly a 4-hour drive north from here, and it's a 2-lane highway the entire way. And you drive it in the winter, and it's lousy with moose. Just lousy with moose. Moose, bears, wolves, you name it. It's all on that highway.
Nope, I'm good. I'm a 6'2" fat bastard, and I don't like creatures that can look me in the eye when they stand on two legs.
Oh, there's quite a few of them. Quite a few of them, bud. I remember once I was driving up to Timmins with a coworker of mine because we worked in teams. I was the sales guy, and we had a reporter with us, right? And I think I was driving up with Lindsay, and we're driving, and we passed this bear who's just like, and this is big black bear, and it's running down the side of the highway at top speed, like it's going, and I'm like, Jesus, what do you think spooked that bear? And Lindsay goes, I don't know. So we just keep on talking, and then about maybe a minute later, we see a bunch of guys on the highway, like a work crew on the highway, with donuts and coffee. I turned to her and say, "You think we should tell them?" And she's like, "I think we should stay and film it." Did I tell the story how I was almost hit by a helicopter going to Timmins? Did I tell that story on this channel?
No. How?
Okay. So, true story. So, again, this is a Timmins story. So remember I said this highway is literally a living hell, right? Yeah. It's 4 hours of this highway. So anyone who's driven to Timmins, I say, do you know the blind hill, right? Because everyone knows the blind hill in Timmins, where it goes up and you can't see past it, right? And it goes straight up and then straight down, right? Mm-hmm. And it's around a curve. So I'm driving, and I was again with Lindsay, and we're driving, and we're coming up the hill in here. Thump, 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 thump. And I'm like, did we blow a tire? And Lindsay goes, it sounds like you might have blown a tire. So I took my hands off the wheel, right, to see if it swerved, because that's what happens when you blow a tire, right?
Yep.
And the car is driving straight. I'm like, what is that noise here? It's just getting closer and closer. We crest this hill, and I shit you not, Dave, there's this fucking helicopter, and it's like 10 feet above the highway. Right, and both of us just start screaming. We start screaming, right? Because we don't know how. All we see is a crest hill, and we see the helicopter rotors, right? And I'm going 80 kilometers an hour, like there's no stopping, right? So we just go, and I coast right underneath this helicopter, and I swear to God, it was like 10 feet above the highway, like 3 meters above the highway, right? We were right underneath it, and I'm just like. And Lindsay's like, did that just happen? And I'm like, and I'm just picking up my cell phone, and I'm calling. It was Expedition Helicopters, and the owner was a client of mine at the time, and I'm like, what the hell? And she goes, what do you mean? And I'm like, I almost got hit by a helicopter. And she goes, can you validate that? And I told her the situation. She goes, yeah, they're surveying in that area, like they're doing a survey for gold, right, in that area. She goes, but why would they be hovering 10 feet above the ground? And I'm like, I don't fucking know.
They're probably using the ground penetrating radar.
Yeah, that's what they were using. Yeah. So, yeah. But I mean, if I was a transport, I would have hit that helicopter. Like,
I think chopper pilots are mental anyway. So I can just imagine you going underneath him and him sitting there in the front, just giving it like that.
I'm sure he thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
I have no doubt in my mind that he was having a grand old time up there. But man, I tell you, yeah, Timmins is a wild place, man. It is. It's the only place where I've almost been murdered by a moose. I actually have a photo of that I can share with you later, of me stalwartly standing still while a moose charges me. Yep. In the same day, I was almost killed by a bison named Albert. True story. The bison's name is Elvis, and he was a monster. Yeah. Yeah, I learned a valuable lesson. Don't turn your back on a bison. Don't ever do it. They don't like it. They do not like it.
We are at 1:30. We got the last 20 minutes to go.
Oof.
This is the last session. This is episode 3 of 3. And we can finally find out who the winner of the World of Reclamation Creature Caster Great British Brush Off is. Will it be our professional painter, Richard? Will it be our game designer, Taylor? Will it be Steve and his Minotaur? Or will it be me, the complete beginner? With his
You can't say that anymore. You've painted more than
professional
a few times. And you got gloves on, mate. You know, you got gloves on, for God's sakes.
I'm professional today. It feels brilliant. I was putting them on. I was like, how the hell do I put these things on? And then it's like, oh, I feel great. I'm never taking these off.
Yeah, that is right. You're never taking them off.
I can feel the sweat on my hands now.
I'll say, yeah, they'll slide off soon, mate. It's fine. Spend half my day wearing nitrile gloves.
I have a feeling this is going to be shiny.
I got Ambrose was laughing at your story. The helicopter pilot has to fly low enough just to see the whites of your eyes. I sweat too much to wear these gloves. Yeah, they are. They are getting warm. First time I've tried them. I'll give them a go. Warpagan says it's dinner time.
You buy a box of them just to be able to try them.
Later,
Yeah.
Evan.
Well, you know, Black Friday Amazon deal.
That you've got 100 in the box, or is it the
I
box
do.
weight?
Yeah. Yeah. And I was contemplating, like, do I wear one?
Yes.
Or no?
No.
Wow, yeah, I've got 100. I'll wear two. I'll still be using these next year.
I think me making Michael Jackson jokes if you just.
Or this time next year. Yeah.
Steve, you might do it next time then. I need a good turbo Dork metallic for the cleaver. What do you reckon?
For which one? Sorry.
I want to go for a good turbo Dork metallic for his main cleaver. It's all I've got left to do.
Silver Fox is what I've been using. My cleaver. Silver Fox here.
I don't know.
With a little bit of 2 cents.
I could go with Sparkle Motion.
You've been challenged in chat. Go non-metallic metals.
Do it. You got 20 minutes.
I am not quite the capacity for that at the moment. Not my forte. It's gonna have to be black ice, I think.
Dick Batty says, I have 3 more pieces of Adepticon to finish. Then I'm getting started on my box of Judgment minis.
Nice.
That's a lot. Ambrose says, I'm doing non-metallic, non-metallic metals for my Resin Beast entry this year. My first go at NMM for a contest. Because, pressure. Exactly. Challenge yourself.
That's it. I've not braved NMM, to be honest. It's one of those things that terrifies the shit out of me.
I've tried it. I'm not great at it. It takes a lot of practice, and it's pretty time consuming.
I say it's one of those ones that if you've got the time and can practice it, is a great technique and something that's awesome. But as I get very, very little time to paint as it is, I feel like I need to go back over some basic skills just to sort of, get the dust off them.
I try to paint for a few hours every week. It's my go-to.
I'm lucky if I get it a few hours a month. I do a painting show with Dragonborn Industries, but that's we speed paint, so we're trying to get the model just sort of tabletop ready in an hour.
Yeah.
So it tends to be literally, slapdash speed paints and how to make it look presentable. But I do want to aim to paint a lot more in the new year. I much prefer painting statues to minis, but
because do you also do commissions as well?
I do take on the.
Do you mean just painting with a brush, proper size minis, or do you mean
both? Yeah, actually, you're getting some nice, practice just doing minis and getting some of the old D&D collection up, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because my boxes are full of either half-painted minis or just random Zenithil highlighted things just for the table.
Over the years, I've built up quite the collection of painted miniatures. So when I do them, or so when we play, usually pretty easy for me to have something at least acceptable for the GM to use.
Yeah.
He thinks it's hilarious to just use things that he knows I don't have. He knows how much it bothers me. It's like, what was it, a couple months ago? He's like, "Yeah, I need some kobolds," and I'm like, "Why the fuck would I have kobolds? That's just not something I keep just hanging around."
It's one of those basic creatures that you just don't have.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've never gotten the point of kobolds. I've never gotten it.
Yeah,
even in my AD&D builds, it's just like, why kobolds? Why not just use goblins? And now they're doing the thing, but now they're half dragon things. I mean, they used to be little dog creatures at one point.
I was just saying they were like almost like the precursor to gnolls and stuff like that.
Yeah, they used to be. Yeah, and then they turned into like dragon things now.
Yeah, that is always a weird one.
Yeah, like, I don't fucking know. Again, I was pretty vastly overconfident in how much I can get done in 2 hours.
You've not done it again, have you?
Oh, I mean, I think I am prepared. At least I think this is like, I feel confident that I can present this model as done. I can pretend it's done.
It's tabletop.
Yeah.
I've definitely done more than I thought I was going to do. I thought I was going to, based on the detail, I thought I was actually going to be stuck doing that. But I've actually done a fair bit. So I'm going to put this up on the screen now. Get those early votes. So you can see. Trying to get those wounds in. I managed to get his nose. That's a good start.
I say, I love the fact you got his No,
I've got some really kind of trying to really go on bloody wounds there. There's still more to, you can see I haven't done the legs. I haven't got to that. But picking out these details. Got some shiny bits in there as well. I've got some gunmetal, which is the dark grey. I've got some copper on his, like the big belt buckle. Padded bone for the skulls. This awesome red texture. So it's picking up the detail. More spikes to do yet. But
We got 10 minutes left. Time to do some gore.
yep. Ambrose says, I spent 4 hours painting a 2 centimeter by 1 centimeter armor plate. Wow. That's got to hurt. I'd like to see pictures of it, though.
oh yeah.
Rukudan says, gnarly but cool. Ambrose says, 2 hours isn't enough. Depends what you're painting. I did because we done so in terms of Great British Brush Off, we do different things, different shows. You know, we find different sponsors and partners to work with, and we did a load of stuff with WizKids, and I think I painted a black pudding. That was quite fun. I did that in 2 hours. Right, let's see. Runic grey, because there's a piece of stone on the slab here. I've also got the base. You can see this. I'm just working on that. I'm going to be putting some stonework.
Sambrose is asking where he can share, so I'll just stick Instagram up on the screen. We won't be able to show it on the screen. We'll be able to see it if you post something there.
It is starting to sound like a dentist chair, isn't it? Like,
Sorry. So I'll show you real quick if you actually want to zoom in on me.
Yep. Hold on. Put my paintbrush down. There we go.
So,
where are you? Zoom.
So this is a technique I learned when you're doing gore.
You blimey, you weren't wrong by saying gore, were you? You've just
so
punched
what you take an airbrush and you put it here, a flat one, and you put your airbrush and you a blood spray. Again, near perfect blood spray if you put a flat brush with some blood effect on it and take your airbrush and run it across.
That's cool.
It's better than the old toothbrush trick.
Yeah.
Yeah. That just gets wrong splatter, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I'm going to mute myself as I use my hairdryer so I can get the final stuff by.
Go for it. I'm going to try this bit again. I need to mix it. Alan Scott. Oh, it's not showing it. There you go. Alan Scott says Taylor spreading his virus. There we go. Let's see if this works any better. Maybe. I'm going to need, what I'm going to definitely need in the new year is new brushes, because I am running out, and I think these are...
Artis Opus.
I need someone to talk to at Artis Opus, though. I need a... I'll
Talk
go
to
in and
Ross.
say, hi, I'm Dave. It doesn't work.
Dr. Ross. They're like, hey, Ross.
What? Ross at Artis Opus?
Ross at Fohammer.
A faux hammer.
I say, yeah, Firehammer's he's in with them, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't finish the base. I didn't finish the base.
I feel like Steve, if we do some live painting at the conventions, I'm gonna be bringing my gloves.
Just a whole box of gloves.
Sit back, my gloves. Oh, yes, I know what I'm doing. Look, paint upside down. I'm so good because I wear gloves. Look at that.
You need
How
a pair
professional that looks.
You need a pair of them glasses with like the multiple lenses that drop down into place. The old sunrise glasses.
Yeah, I'll get some. We should do branded Badger gloves. Branded Badger paint gloves.
That probably wouldn't be too hard to do.
Yeah, even you can paint as good as me. My idea did not work. It was my idea has eluded me. But I'll keep trying.
What are you trying to do?
I'm not entirely sure, but it didn't work. Whatever I was trying. Dragon Skull Studios says check out the sable brushes from Chronicle.
Yep, that's. I was going to say, if you want some brushes, I can see about sending you some Beast brushes, which are Chronicle cards. It's our branded Chronicle cards brushes.
Yeah, the only brushes. I mean, I've just used normal brushes, and Army Painter sent us some triangle brushes. I don't know what the difference is. Why the handle is triangle? I don't know.
I think it's
quite comfy.
I say it's all down to comfort.
But yeah, if you're happy to, we always use them, so they'll be shown on on every episode.
See about getting it.
This is you can't see it. This is a Warhammer Regiment.
Wargamer Regiment brush.
Wargamer, yeah, by Army Painter. Yeah.
Army Painter one,
yeah. I don't know what that means in terms of brush size, but those have been my go-to for quite a while now. But they are falling apart.
I'd get some soap as well.
Yeah.
To prolong the life.
Yeah, some brush soap. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I use the Chronicle cards one. I've been using I used them pretty much for a year straight, and hair they lasted. So I haven't cracked open my other 7 years.
That's my brush.
Will got me these, and he got me this. I haven't even cracked it open yet, and that was Adepticon, I think. So
cool. Richard, that was wax you had, or soap?
It's brush soap.
Brush soap.
It comes in the same tin as hair wax.
Yeah. Could you use it as hair wax?
No.
You try it. Ambrose says trying out new things is one of the benefits of being a new painter. Yes, it is. Nearly everything you try is a new adventure. I definitely like trying different things, and I've definitely found more comfortable ways of doing things. Like I never used to bother with painting handles and things like this, but when I found the right one, the right kind of combination, it was really good, and I got into how to use it, and it made things a little bit easier. So again, finding the right paint, finding the right, and this is, I mean, you can see this under my desk. This is just the Army Painter paint tray, because I don't have room. This is my computer desk, so I don't have a painting station, but I can pick this up and I can move it across. And
so it's one of those ones. I have a painting station, but I'm painting at my desk because of this setup.
Right, it is. That's it, guys. That's it. We've run out of time. We are going to shout. We need your vote. So those of you who are watching live, thank you so much. And what I need you to do is vote for who you think has been the best painter. Now, we're in episode 3. It's not about completing the mini. It's about what you think have they learnt, what have they done, color choices, anything like that. This is what it's all about. So this is the final vote, episode 3 of 3. I will find my previous voting cards so I can keep a tally.
I think we've only got a couple of bodies in the chat anyway.
That's okay. Every vote counts. So, and we get to vote as well. We also get to vote for our own people. So, Dig Baddie, Dig Baddie, 72 says, I vote for Taylor. Really cool airbrush and gore technique. It is. Let's have a proper look. Let's have a zoom. Let's zoom in as we go around, because it is look all over the body.
Here's Sweet Tooth. Let's see, I can get a better angle on him. There we go. It's a little more focused.
So I have a question, Taylor, on that. So now that the blood splatter is great, but it also looks really nice now because it's wet. How would you maintain it? Because when it dries, it's going to go matte. So would you go over it with like some kind of varnish or something?
Paint. When it dries, it's shiny.
Yeah, it dries shiny. Yeah, see, I'm touching it there, and it's not tacky at all.
Oh wow! I did not know there was such a thing out there.
Yeah, so it's a gore effect. It's a blood effect paint.
Cool. I like
the
that.
Army Painter War Paints Fanatic do True Blood, which is brilliant.
Yeah. And then, do we show off our last model as well, or no?
Yeah, go for it.
This is the one. In case people hadn't seen, this was the other one.
Yep.
This is the immense one. Yeah.
Oh, this is the rider.
This is what you're voting for. I like that.
So that's what I got.
Right, Richard, over to you.
I have near enough finished Sweet Tooth. So we have got get in focus. So I went with
you did put him in a red
eyes
shirt.
on him. So you got the nice beady eyes. Finished Captain Red Shirt. Got the bits and pieces all done around him. The only bit I didn't get done was the main cleaver. But
I have a question. That's nice. I have 2 questions. One, is that a nipple ring?
And yes, it is a gold. It's a gold nipple ring. A gold nipple ring. Which if I ever put this into an adventure, that thing is going to be magical and worth a lot.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah. My second thing is, could you, like, you got your red shirt in there? Could you paint him with a Star Trek uniform and just do this weird crossover? That's what I would like to see.
All it would take at the moment is a few dots on the collar and basically a communicator.
The arch badge, yeah.
Right, Steve, let's go over to you. Here we go. Pimp it. Work it. Let's go.
So
that is so sick.
Yeah,
I love the eye. The eye color.
Yeah, so the eyes I did in orange and then 2 yellow highlights. Just pick up the point. So that's all I've been doing really is going back over the red skin with the purple and picking out the highlights through wet blending. I gave him a fringe. What I was trying to do was do like the very thin texture technique where you make it look like fur, but my brush skills aren't that delicate, so it looked like he had fringe rather. But anyway, I'm really pleased with the purple. So I'm pleased with what I've done tonight. I had a really nice, relaxing time, and that's a really nice model. So I'm going to look forward to finishing that.
Yeah. What's the base it comes on, Steve? Have you got the base?
Yeah, but it's not painted. So, and I'll put it in the cupboard because I was having to tidy up the other day.
Right. No worries.
I will have to put that on Instagram.
And finally, let's have a look at this. Shoom. I've got to get it in camera. Here we go. This is one of the Reavers from World of Reclamation. The wounds really are that deep on that flesh. I love the mask. I love that kind of 2 layers because it does look like it's a mask you could probably take off, and then you'd have the mini underneath. So that looks awesome. And he's got these various spikes.
Them cuts are insane.
Yeah, and all I did was I used the insane brush with a little bit of red, the same red as what we got on here, and just to kind of fill in those gaps because they're deep. They're really, really deep. But yeah,
that's nice, that skin.
Yeah, trying to highlight the muscles and bits and pieces. Again, it's not finished, but I've enjoyed doing this one. I'm going to finish this one off as well at some point. Nice. And we've got the horn there as well. That's nice. But cool. Really impressed with that. Trying to get it out of the shadow. Let's try and look at that nose. That is awesome.
You've got to get in there and do that eye.
Yeah, I know. I've got 2 eyes in there. Yeah, need to be coloured in. I'm going to do like piercing blue or something like that. Piercing blue eyes, I think. But yeah, again, and the texture, you can see the on that thing around his neck. I've used a brown leather, but you can just see the texture shining through.
Oh, you can, yeah.
Texture detail, absolutely awesome. But it is your final votes. Get those votes in. I saw we had 1 vote already for Taylor. We're going to add those up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there's another one. Shout them out.
They're rolling in now. Look.
Steve's got another one. Steve's got another one.
I've got 2. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's 3 in total. He's just now surpassed me.
I mean, so this is like a zombie movie, isn't it? I don't need to win. I just need to beat
outrun. Yeah, just need to outrun me. Yeah. Cheers for that, Steve. Right, let's go around the table. Taylor, who would you vote for? You can't vote for yourself. Who would you vote for?
I would vote for you with your fancy gloves. I think you're trying something new, and I think that's important.
Vote for the gloves.
Vote for the gloves.
I'm assuming Steve clapping his hands. That was also a vote for me, so I'm going to take that one.
No, it wasn't actually. I was going to vote. I was going to vote for Richard, but I'll give an honorary mention to the Gore Splatter, which I thought was really good.
Cool.
No, I'm going to.
I give an extra as a half vote there for Taylor. Richard, who does your vote go to?
Steve will get my vote for that. The flesh. Steve. I do love that purple. It looks amazing.
Awesome. Right.
And I've got another one in chat. But...
Another one in chat. Oh. Okay.
There we go.
That's cool. Right. So for the very last time, folks, our winner over all 3 episodes, which has never happened before, is Richard, our pro painter. Well done. Fantastic. Well done to you. You win the coveted gold star, which means absolutely nothing because it doesn't exist. But well done. Thank you very much for joining us on this one. Thank you very much also for sponsoring. If you didn't know, Richard, we lost Steve. Steve just pushed a button.
I was changing cameras. Sorry.
Richard also printed all of our minis for us, so we could use them on the show. There we go. That's Steve my Goblin Berserker.
Taylor's is his own.
A little far away. I didn't paint mine or print mine.
Yeah,
I'm a little far away.
You got your own. You created these. That's fine. You could do your.
I got a shout out to Robbie for printing mine.
And Taylor, again, you've been here. This is now your 4th appearance on Banner Badgers. Your 3rd appearance on the Great British Brush Off. Are you going to come back for more? It's the 2025 we're back for Christmas next week, but are you going to come back again and see us soon?
Absolutely. I got to paint with Ambrose. Remember?
Yep. We've got to organize that. I'll let you sort that out.
Okay.
And
don't forget
these are not nice. You take them off. They're like sticky.
Don't forget also about the promotion.
We can leave
you email me by tomorrow. I'll say by tomorrow morning. If I have an email that says "The Last True King" as the subject line, look in your My Mini Factory library, and I will have a Pymian model in there for you.
Cool. Do you want to show
subject
it off
line
just one more time?
Yeah,
because
the subject line has to be "The Last True King."
Okay, so make sure you do that. Subject, Last True King. Send your email over to Taylor to get a free mini. Cool. Right, with that, folks, that is the end of the Great British Brush Off. What a reclamation by Creaturecaster, by game designer Taylor. Thank you so much. Richard, Steve, Taylor, we'll see you again on the flip side. Ta-da.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
I've got to find the right button now. You keep waving, Steve. Keep waving, Steve.
It's like one of them awkward Zoom calls.
I'm just going to keep you waving now. Keep waving. Right. See you next time. Ta.